Congratulations, Brian.
Thank you very much.
All right. There you go, mate.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, cheers. But before I do hand it over to Brian, I'd just like to say really what an honour and a privilege it's been to be a president of the club again. I've been in the club 48 years. That's, I know. You wouldn't have even thought I was 48, would you? You know, I surprise myself every time I look in the mirror.
We feel it's been like 48.
Just tonight.
You know, we should reflect on what we've achieved over that period, because it's been really good. If we look from a welfare point of view, you know, we collected over 2 tonnes of food over an 8-week period, which we donated to the food bank. We had weekly donations of salads given to us, which we gave to the Salvation Army food bank. We planted 450 trees, right, in the park in Barwell.
That was tough.
You know, and it was.
440 of them have been taken up.
We packed and delivered food parcels at Christmas, then again at Easter, with the parish council. And last Christmas, obviously, we managed to do Santa's Grotto again in reality in Barwell and Earl Shilton. So, you know, from a welfare point of view, you know, we've been pretty active. But we've also managed to raise an awful lot of money during that period. And again, you know, we were having to think outside of the box when the pandemic started, because obviously we couldn't meet face to face with people. And we, you know, Helen came up with the idea of a lockdown cookbook, and that raised us £1,300. You know, and that was fantastic. That got us off to a really good start. As things eased a little bit, we did the cake stall outside on Andrews Drive, raised £622. Lisa did some scratch cards online, raised us another £140. We got a grant from the council for the bottle, message in a bottle, £490. We did an online Easter raffle, which brought in £836. And then, you know, we decided, because we couldn't do the Santa's Grotto in reality, we'd do it online with 12 nights of stories. It wasn't supposed to be a fundraising event, but it brought in £222, and we went out online for 12 nights with stories. At least David did.
Santa did.
Oh, yes, Santa did. And then to top it all, you know, we had a photo shoot with the FA Cup, and that raised us £60. Didn't expect it to get more, because it was a Leicester event, and I can imagine there was many Leicester fans out there wanting to be associated with it. But we, you know, 60 quid, so we can't moan. We introduced Amazon Smiles, right, and that's brought in £150 to date, and we do nothing for it. And then one of Lisa's, Rebecca, through the marketplace, she donated £500 to us. So, you know, we've brought a fair amount of money in. And again, I'll make no apologies, I'm going to tell you where it's gone. We gave £200 to the Earl Shilton Church for their summer activities. You know, I'm having to think right back now, 2 years, to, you know, some of the things we were involved in. We give the food bank £300. We gave £225 to the Lebanon appeal after that explosion in Lebanon. We paid £342 to Barwell Athletic for their under-15s kit. We gave North Sea Lions £50. We gave £92 to the Poppy appeal. We gave the Disabled Riding Group £400. We gave £400 to the Brain Tumour Trust. We gave LCIF £250 for their Indian appeal. We gave £200 to Amy's Friends Orphanage in India. You know, and that was in basically 2020-21. In 21-22, we've given money to the Royal British Legion. We gave £500 to right next door to us where we are tonight for their synthetic pitch, to the football club there for the use of the community. We gave £250 to Barwell Bloomers. We gave North Sea Lions £100. We gave the Brain Tumour Trust another £400. We gave the Ukrainian refugee appeal £1,130. we've donated the 2,500 to Meadow Farm School for their outdoor classroom, and then we gave Dorothy Goodman School £100. So, over that 2 years, we've raised money in, and we've given it to a whole host of different things. And I think as time goes on, you lose sight of what we've achieved. So I think despite the pandemic, we've maintained, this is in addition, despite the pandemic, we managed to maintain some fellowship as we've gone along as well. We've had Indian meals. David and Helen have hosted us twice at their house, which has kept the fellowship side of things going. So I think now we're basically getting back to some sort of normality, excuse me. Zoom helped us to stay together as a club, and it served its purpose, and I think I said this at the last club meeting. Going forward, I think it's a good tool, whether it's Zoom or it's Facebook or something else, FaceTime. It's got its advantages if you're travelling away from home and you want to keep in touch with the club. It has its drawbacks if members don't come to club meetings because of Zoom. So I would encourage everybody, to come to club meetings, because basically handing over to Brian tonight, it'll help him, if we've got people in the room, because obviously the guy down at the bottom wants to see people buying drinks and stuff like that. So I'd encourage everybody to come back. So I guess the point of tonight is for me to say everything I've just said, but the reality is it's time for a new president, and as much as I've enjoyed it, I'm going to wish Brian all the best for the next 4 years. Right, because I think, we're a bloody good club. He's inheriting a good club, and we've got some fantastic members. Brian, I'm taking this off, and I've been trying to hang on to it for as long as I could. So if you'd like to stand up. Right. I didn't get many opportunities to wear it. I hope you get a lot more than I got. I wish you all the best going forward.
Thank you.
And I think
I have prepared a speech. It is, in fact, I prepared it while sitting in my office the other day. It is only a short one, so I'll keep it brief. I'm going to go a little bit further. I think it's only fitting, really, that I want to propose a toast. His outstanding leadership and contribution to the club as president of the over the past 2 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been lucky to have such a hard-working and dedicated past president in John. And they say behind every successful man is a very successful lady. But she's left, so we go. So I'd really just like to show our appreciation and just to raise a glass to John and Linda.
I'll drink to that.
Did you do the royal toast? I think you missed that, didn't you?
I did, yeah. As always.
So I asked John for some tips on speech writing.
Dear God.
I wasn't really sure what I'd get for a man whose pastime involves running around the garden dressed in a lion suit. So he gave me some words of wisdom, and he said, Brian, he kind of sat down and he's like, Brian, if I was going to give you some words of wisdom on a speech, this is what I would tell you. Try not to talk too long. They say it's best to leave your audience before your audience leaves you. Always try to avoid giving advice during speeches. As a little schoolgirl once wrote, Socrates was a wise Greek philosopher who walked around giving advice to people, and then they poisoned him. Speeches are like horns on a steer. There's a point here and a point there, but in between it's mostly bull. My tips on that.
I was spot on with that.
So what is it, especially for the guests amongst us, what is it like to be a lion? So I'm just going to put this into perspective. In the UK, there are 163,000 charities. A combined income of nearly £45 billion, and they contribute 12 billion to the UK economy. Under half of those charities have an annual income of less than £10,000. And if you were to pay the UK volunteers a minimum wage, the value of the work is expected to be around £23 billion a year. So as Lions, we contribute towards those voluntary sector figures. So it's okay to hold your heads up high. So here are some incredible statistics that you have, around this table have made happen really. In 105 CW, the Lions have collectively served 610,000 people. 610,000. In MD 105, so it's the UK, over 2.5 million. And then worldwide, it's a staggering 474 million people. As Lions, we are a rare breed. We've got the tenacity to fight through obstacles, the creativity to raise funds and support, and a passion to serve that is enviable across the voluntary sector. So all I ask is that let's make this year a good one. Let's make the Lions roar louder than ever, and we will build on John's excellent work, and we'll hold our head high knowing that we are, as Lions, serving those 600,000 people across the Central and West and 2.5 million people across the UK who really need our help. So I'd like to raise a toast, raise a glass and toast each and every one of you, and to say that hopefully we will have an even more successful lionistic year. So, to us.
To us.